Right, we are live. So everybody here, okay. I think, okay, Ana Laura, can you present yourself?
Sure,
Please.
let's go. So guys, hello, my name is Ana Laura. I am 24. I live in Cruzeiro, São Paulo, and I'm working as lab analyst in a dairy industry. And I'm attending here on TNT meeting since May. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Jaine, did I pronounce your name right? Jaine? Or Jaine? I don't know.
Hey, good morning. My name is Jaine. I live in Rio de Janeiro. I am 22 years old.
Is it your first time here on TNT?
Yes,
Did you attend any other meeting, or that's the first meeting at all?
it's my first time here.
Okay, okay. So you see how it works during the meeting. So if you have any questions, any doubts, or anything you have about TNT, you can ask me or anybody else here on the chat, or just talk. Rafael, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you again. I love that you are the moderator in this conversation. Anyway,
That's why I'm wearing makeup today.
I still have my sleepy face, but that's fine.
No, that's not true. I was working.
Oh, okay. All right. I just woke up, so like an hour ago. But anyways, my name is Rafael. It's my second time here. I'm 27. I am from São Paulo, and I'm a coordinator at a language school. And yeah, that's it.
Jefferson, good morning.
Okay, guys, good morning, Jefferson. I'm living in Goiânia, Goiás. I'm economist. I'm a professor for a Catholic University of Goiás. And I'm in TNT. It's a pleasure to be here for 4 months.
It's a good subject for an economist.
Yeah, I love.
Bruna, how are you?
Good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Atamis, you're like gorgeous today. I loved it. You're amazing.
I had to impress my manager today. I had
It's
to.
just awesome. So
I
I'm
did
Bruna.
my hair.
Just perfect. I'm 26. I live in São Paulo. I work with Rafa. And yeah, it's also a pleasure to be here with you. I've been a host here on TNT since actually it's been two weeks that I've been a host here, and yeah, that's it. It's always a pleasure.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's been good actually. It's okay. I really want to see you there on Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Yesterday I tried, but the time changed here in England, and I lost 1 hour. So I was here prepared to your meeting, and was one hour earlier. So
it's okay.
Next week, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start with Jefferson. What is food justice, and why is it necessary?
It's very important because you have food insecurity in the world. And in Brazil, you have 19 million of Brazilians with this situation. The situation means that have no food at home, 24 hours without nothing to eat. So for me, it's terrible about this situation. Any other country like Africa and other countries, it's terrible. And why it's necessary? Because you need to have a good food, to be a good health, and to survive.
To survive, like to live.
Yeah.
To live, yeah. What do you think, Rafael? What is food justice and why is it necessary?
For me, food justice is, it's what we watched it in the video earlier. It's like in what it is and what is food justice. Like it is necessary because it's a simple right. People should have what to eat. It's just a basic right. And like Jefferson said, it's a huge problem here in Brazil. Like we're talking about almost 10% of our population who are starving right now. And that is not right. And I don't know. And it's really sad. When we are talking about our country, there are other countries who are that are in the same situation. So I feel like it is necessary because it's a simple right, That's it.
Everybody has to eat. Like,
why don't we think about that? Like I have family in the northeast part of Brazil. They live in Ceará, and I know for a fact that because for some people maybe this will sound strange, but it was common for me because that was like my family that lived there. But I went to visit them like 20 years ago in 2001, and my grandparents, they had a house in a farm. So it was like far from the main city, from the town, and they didn't have drinkable water. Like they had to go like miles to get water. Like 20 years ago. Like imagine yourselves like 20 years ago at your house. Like you probably, I imagine you probably had like drinkable water at the palm of your hand. And 20 years ago, my grandparents and my uncle and my cousins, like they didn't have that. And that goes with food as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I am a dietitian, a nutritionist and dietitian, two things in one course. So I study for food justice like all my life after I started graduation. And one of the data, I don't know how to say it, the data that impressed me was about people in Nigeria. 60% of people in Nigeria, the population there, they live 1 hour far from the source of water. 1 hour, 60%. It's not drinkable as well. It's just a source of water. So that's about food justice as well. It's about a lot of things, but yeah. And I know these things, and it's terrible. Ana Laura, what about you? What do you think?
Oh, so what is food justice? I totally agree with Rafael. It's a basic human right, and it's I don't know, an equal access to the source of energy, right, for us, and in a healthy way, not just. I believe I didn't see the video because I was a little bit late, but I believe that it's not just like, it's also to distribute equally healthy food, not just industrialized food.
It's quantity and quality.
Yeah, definitely. And why it's necessary, just like Rafael said, it's the basic to live, right? Everybody needs to eat to be healthy and stay healthy. And Artemis was saying, was talking about Nigeria, right? Some data. And I don't know if you guys saw on the news, but yesterday I saw and on the news that it seems that in Madagascar, the south part of the island, there are people dying because of a severe, how can I say, I forgot the word, seca because they lost a lot of
Drought.
drought.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of, they couldn't plant anything, and now it's getting worse, and they survive basically from agriculture and fishing, and there are people dying there, these of hunger this week. It's really sad.
That's it doesn't make sense. Like, we know, everybody knows, I hope, but a lot of people knows that we have food enough to everybody. What's going on? Where is this food?
The big problem is the concentration of wealth. Brazil is a huge, have a huge productions of product, vegetables, rice, soybeans, corns, etc., etc., etc. But the big problem is the concentration of wealth in Brazil. That's terrible. So yeah, you have the product, but you don't have money to buy the product.
Yeah, after the pandemic, Brazil got more 40 billionaires. Nice.
Yeah, it's a big contradiction, because the work is concentration. The process of concentration of wealth is terrible in Brazil.
Yeah, but it's,
okay,
you are sorry, but you're economist, and you probably know that better than me. But like, it's not only about the concentration of wealth, but it's like how much governments are willing to make food accessible to everyone, like, and what programs are being created to those who are in a situation that they are vulnerable, so they don't have access to it, they don't have the income to get the food, or they are in a, like, Adams was saying, I was shocked by it, that like 60% of the population in Nigeria, they have to walk like an hour to get to water that is not even drinkable. So like, how much are governments and how much is the organizations like the UN, for example, they're supposed to help, right? Like, how much are these people in power interested in helping those who are vulnerable? So I think that is also a question. I don't know.
A lot of questions.
Definitely. I just remembered that I saw on the news as well that this week Elon Musk put on his Twitter that there's some guy on the UN that speak directly to him and talking about this. Oh, if you take a certain percentage of his richness, we could save, I don't know, billions of people to die to die from hunger and from hungry. And he also asked, he responds on his Twitter, oh yeah, sure, so, explain me why, and then I will assign the check. That definitely. He was trying to be, oh yeah, explain me how we can do it, and definitely I would do it and send this percentage of my money. Because it's a complex question, right?
The only things passing my mind now is swearing. I want to say a lot of, anyway, Bruna.
No, but I think you summarized pretty well. I just want to add something because I didn't know, not anything, but like, yeah, let's say anything about it. So I, like yesterday night, I like Googled a little bit, and what I liked and like that I want to add is that food justice is not only about having access to healthy food, but also culturally appropriate food. So that's something really interesting too. And also about the control of land, knowledge, technology. So it was really interesting, getting to know more about it. Also about food production, food traditions. So I really like that too, just to add something else.
Inside the food justice, you can like make parts of this to studies parts, like there's a food racism, like you said, like traditions. When you say something, like when you feel the image we have in your mind, like I have of health food is European, berries, oats, like it's never one like feijoada. It's a tradition, but it's not health. It's not. We don't look like a healthy food. That's not health, food justice. So yeah. Jaine, I want to hear from you.
I agree with everyone said, and yesterday I saw a video of a man like screaming in the middle of the street for food, and they broke my heart so deeply, and it sounds fair to see this kind of situations, mainly in this pandemic. This becomes so I don't know what word. Anyways, I agree with everybody said.
Yeah, I think we already answered the second question. It is hunger. It's a social justice issue. But so I was going to the third question. Have you or some of your family members ever been in a situation of food insecurity? Rafael said about the family in Ceará. My family, my parents, they never told us like they didn't have food enough. There's my grandma, mother of my mother, she used to work in a pizza place, and for her children, she got the borders of the pizza, the customers left in the place to feed them. So that's horrible. But they like it. My mom, she remembers like oh, my childhood, we did like, it's kind of, I don't see like that, but yeah. So my father, he has had problem as well. So I want to know anyone knows or had a problem in the family.
Yeah, there is also like something I would like to share, because I'm talking about like 20 years ago. But like my family on my mother's side, they are all from Ceará, and my family on my father's side, they are from São Paulo. So we already have like a social difference there. If we're talking about like 50, 40 years ago, like in development of those two cities, those states. And my father, as far as I know, like he has never gone through something harsh as like going hungry. But on my mom's side, like my mom was born in 65. So like the dictatorship thing had already started here in Brazil, and it was really hard for people with that area. Like my mom told me that they would go days without actual food. And what you said about the pizza crust is the memories that my mom and my uncles and aunts, they have, because like something like, I don't know, something really like beans with something else would become some kind of dish, and they have a name for it, and it's just this, blood of food that is not actual food. It's just stuff that come together so that my grandparents could feed their children at the time, but it's not actually food. And that's crazy to think about, because like that is something that my mom likes to eat now. It's not actually food, you know, it's just like, it is food if you think about it, because then it becomes tradition and has a lot of like, you know, so yeah. But it's like feijoada. Feijoada came about, there's like a whole history about feijoada and how feijoada came to be. But it's crazy to think about that like now I have, you know, a nice place to live and I have food every day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And to think about like my mom, like 50 years ago, my mom, my uncle, my aunts, my grandparents, like they would go days without actual food. Like they would pay a lot of money to have a piece of meat to share on a Sunday, you know. So, and that is not actually hunger. I think, like, I can't imagine how it was, so I'm only assuming here, but that is hunger for me, you know, like going days without actual food to eat and going
it can
nights to
be
get water.
maybe you can say it is hunger, but food insecurity for sure.
Food insecurity, yes, totally. It's not hunger, but food insecurity. Like not knowing, like you eat lunch, but you're not sure if you're gonna be able to put, you know, food on everyone's plate for dinner, you know, so yeah.
And you mentioned something very important, that is environmental racism or environmental food injustice. Like when you choose, it's not random. We in Africa, people are hunger than in northeast of Brazil. It's not random. It's environmental food injustice. Ana Laura.
Yeah.
About you.
So I remember my grandmother and mother of my father. I know that her family was passed from some difficult of money, and I remember when I was younger, she talking to me and remembering that there have some months when she was younger that she didn't eat just to put food in my father's and my uncle's plates. You know, she didn't food at all, and just working and helping the house, because my grandfather, she had a problem with alcohol as well. He couldn't get a job for many months, and I remember she talking about it. I believe that food insecurity as well.
Jaine, what about you? Have any story to share to us? With us?
No, my family haven't, but I had an experience with a neighbor. She didn't have enough food, so my grandfather helped her and gave her some food.
Jaine is from a wealthy family. I'm kidding, Jaine. That's good. That's really good. Bruna, what about you?
Yeah, I think my father, we've never talked about it, but I think like my mom, like sometimes she talks about it, that like he didn't have access to, yeah, he's been in this food insecurity place, you know, and yeah, but he has never told me anything about it. I just know because my mom told me a little bit, but not in details, you know. So I don't know. I can tell you everything because I don't know.
Yeah, but
It's sad, right? But like because he usually buys like a lot of things, you know, when we go to the mall, he always wants to buy a lot of not like food specifically, but like I don't know, socks, because he didn't have it in the past, you know, so he has a lot of socks, or like you know, clothes.
Yeah, I see one other behavior of parents who pass through this kind of issues, or when you go to a restaurant, on we are having a meal, they always say you have to eat all the food is in your plate, because when I was a child, then so that's one of the things I heard a lot in my experience as a nutritionist.
Or like you need to value that, because you know I started working when I was 12, you know. So
yeah, so sometimes you don't want to eat, but we learn at my generation learn to eat all the things you have in the plate, because we have to, because you can't waste, because and they say people are hungry. I didn't have this in my childhood, and many things, and you are guilt about, and you eat. So Jefferson, what about you?
I have a lot of stories about this because my father is from Piauí.
Choose one.
My father is from Santa Filomena. I have been there for a long time. I know Santa Filomena, I know Maranhão, I know Sergipe, not the capital, but the countryside is so terrible. You can imagine the situation there now. It's terrible. No water, no food, insecurity, poverty, and everything you can imagine. It's terrible now in this region for Northeast that I know. I have been there 3 years ago, so it's not so good. I have a lot of cousins. That's a terrible situation. The government has a program of distribution of food, like basic food, cesta básica, in that region, but it's not enough. It's terrible.
It's not enough because that's not the root of the issue. You have to go to the root too. So, and now I know there's no more Bolsa Família in Brazil. That's terrible. That's like cruel. That's cruel. That's really bad. So the fourth one, in the video we have been told that there is enough food in quantity and quality for everyone. How can food distribution be improved? Like, Bruna.
that's a hard one, and I think I don't know how to answer it. I tried to find like projects online yesterday to answer this one, but maybe let me just read it again. How we can help, right? I don't know. Maybe supporting projects that are doing and that are providing food to people, and this is the only answer I can give you. Sorry. I don't know.
That's okay. That's a good answer, actually. That's a really good answer. I worked with a program in Brazil. The name is PNAE, the National Program of Food for Schools. That's the translation I can't get. Sorry, it's like this. So this is a chain of many things you have to do. Like I had to buy food from the small local local farmers, and I had to buy organic food. So you see all the chain of the distribution. You have to follow the rules to and to give a good food to the children. So that's one of the programs. Ana Laura, what about you? What do you think?
Oh, so just like Bruna said, it's a complex question, a tough question. But yeah, I could say that maybe we could help, just like Bruno was saying, trying to support and create and help to create maybe some programs that are related to this question. I remember searching, and I follow them on Instagram, I don't know, or LinkedIn, I don't remember, but it's a program called Vitamin Angels. It's related to a Brazilian company, or they are, I don't remember if, no, they are not Brazilian, they are just like international company. But it's really, they are from the food segment, and they started this project that helps and distribute their solutions about food and, enriched food, alimentos enriquecidos, just like rice with iron and some stuff like that. And it seems that they are focused on African countries, but it's really nice, just like Artemis was saying, to help here in Brazil and to think about the chain of distributions. And I just remember about this case that Natura, right? The company, they are always saying, right, that they are helping the small producers, right, from the seeds that they take to do their creams and products. It's really nice.
Jefferson, you are economist. We are take advantage of your knowledge.
Okay, and I am a professor of agro-industrialization here, post-graduation course. So it's difficult to answer this question just in short time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about the quantity and the quality of the Brazilian producer, this is the best of the world. We have the best corn, we have the best milk, we have the best sugar cane in the world, the best coffee, better than Colombia, the best coffee in the world is produced in Minas Gerais, and the best soybean of the world. And we have a very good cattle here. It's the best taste, and it's improving a lot. But for me, the big problem, again, is not enough food. We have enough food in Brazil. The big problem, it's concentration of wealth. This is a big problem for me. Better job, the cell is too slow, and now it's worse. It's getting worse. And you have unemployment. It's too high in Brazil. And all the governments have program of distribution of food. All of them. You have Bolsa Família, here in Goiás, we have a distribution of food in some prefeituras, mayors, city halls. In city halls, we have distribution of food, but it's not enough. And the other problem is it's too expensive now. If you see the inflation now, the inflation in Brazil is twice. You have, for example, you have 10.5 of inflation for all, but for the poor, it's 20. It's the double of the inflation, really, because the food about beverage and food. It's terrible.
It's much more than just the food. It's like I say, I think it's a chain of problems. There's a lot of problems. So, and the problems, social and economic problem.
Both problems, because I work in government for 30 years with this. I work in the agriculture, say, for a long time ago, not a long time ago, but I work with this kind of thing. So it's not so easy. It's tough questions.
Yeah. Rafael, I want to hear from you.
I want to go with Jefferson's answer because it's a chain of problems. As we know, like earlier, at times you were talking about like the root of the problem, and I wish I knew the root of the problem, but first of all, I think that governments need to have the interest of making food a priority, like the access to food and drinkable water, and so people are not, they are not in a vulnerable place in that. But I think it goes like way back, like first we need to have social programs, of course, that help people, that give them aid, like, so we don't need to have like programs in companies, or we don't need to have like projects that are not like government structured, because we shouldn't have those. Like our government, not like only Brazilian government, but like the governments of the world, like they should ensure that their population, the entirety of their population, have access to food and water, and that they are in a comfortable place in that. But like specifically in our country, for example, I think it starts like way back. Access to good education, make people prepared, and that they have an opinion, they have an education, so they can go out to the world, and they can go out to the job market, and they can get jobs, and they can afford food, and they can have access to food. Like I think it starts way back. I don't know the root of it, but there are steps along the way. So like governments, they should be interested in that. And like I said before, like I don't know what happens with governments and with rich people, that they just want to stay rich, and they are not looking down, and seeing, the problems that we go through as a society. So like Ana Laura was talking about Elon Musk. I think it was him that was like pretty mad recently that now in the United States, billionaires, millionaires, like rich people are gonna be taxed for what they have and not equally as the population. It's like, dude, you have a lot of money. So like, I don't know, it's a chain of events, it's a chain of problems. So it's really hard to answer this question, I guess.
Just to spring in my mind another question, because I live in England and I have the best food that I can have. Like I have Brazilian coffee, the best Brazilian coffee. I never get this coffee in Brazil. The Colombian coffee is really good as well. I can't say I really like. It's like, I don't know, it's really good and it's really cheap. But England and the UK in general don't produce a lot of food. How can it happen? Why? It's money. You can't eat money.
Because have money to pay. It's like in German.
We can't eat money.
Didn't produce just one coffee, but it's the most export coffee of the world. It's German. Buy the coffee from Brazil and from Colombia.
I would say it's like more, it's not just about money, it's about another thing, because we could keep this money, it could sell and keep this money for ourselves in Brazil and feed people there. Of course, I'm saying in the really basic level economics knowledge, but I think the roots can be the colonization. I think can be it. I really think so, because if you look the map where people are hungry, colonized countries. Jaine, tell me your opinion. I know it's hard topic. I like them.
Yeah, it's hard. But I think helping small family farms and buy organic food in small supermarkets. Also distribute food to those who have no access to food and cannot buy food, like Julio Ancelot does in São Paulo. I don't know if you know, but they distribute food to the people cannot pay for that. So I think that's it.
Yeah, the priest, Julio Lancelot, he's giving people, and he's amazing. Yeah, he's while the Doria's wife saying you can't feed people on the streets because they'll be too used to be like I don't want to. That makes me really angry.
Artemis, I think it's a topic that is hard not to get political. It's
You
really
know,
hard not to.
it is political.
Exactly, it is political.
That's but I'm saying, like, how a white rich woman can say something like that. You know, it's like, anyway, ugly.
Because she's entitled to it, because there won't be any repercussions for what she says. Like, people already forgot about that, you know. Like, if it's not people who care, they already forgot about that. Because, yeah.
And
I don't forget.
And she's not prepared for be a first lady. That's just it. That's terrible. You have not culture, not prepared political, so you can say a lot of bullshit. Damn it.
Let's wait people come back, because I want to. Of course we can. I think somehow we answered all the questions, but I want to hear about the 10th question. Everyone, hello.
Hello, I come back.
Edson, Fern, okay.
Question is so very important. You bring for discourse about because it's a big problem around the world. I made the talk.
Edson, how are you? How was the conversation?
It's important, né? It's
important.
I may learn speaking English, and I learn different opinion, né? With Fer, with Yasmin.
Okay. I want to hear from, let me say, Yasmin. Where does your food come from?
Oh, it's a difficult question because I really don't know. I know that it's from supermarket, but I didn't know the process that to arrive there, you know.
Yes, I didn't know much. I knew something, but I didn't know much when I was in Brazil. Like, it's pretty much from the supermarket. But here in England, I know from, like, my food is from Costa Rica, Colombia, Brazil, Panama, Spain, China, it's very rare I see something like made in England or made in the UK. Very, very rare. So it just makes me wonder a lot.
Do you plant anything in your backyard?
Yeah, a lot of things. Potatoes, tomatoes, cabbage, flowers. Now I'm planting flowers because the winter's coming. So I have some winter flowers and a greenhouse. And Fern, where's your food come from? From your backyard?
Yeah, I plant several things in my backyard. Sometimes in countryside. I have a good countryside nearby me. Sometimes I have a friend who have a big farm. Sometimes when I visit the guy, wow, full my car about food.
Do you know the local shop, local farms?
I have a lot because I live in a small city called in Region Mountain. Nearby me, my town have a good farm. No big farm, a little farm.
Ana Laura, where does your food come from? You work with dairy?
Yeah, in the dairy industry with quality control, microbiological quality control.
Do you know where the milk come from?
Yeah, they are from small producers nearby the industry, but there are some, I don't know how to say, cooperativas from the other cities. Cooperatives.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, but the majority are small producers nearby.
What is the price? You know the price of each liter, milk liter?
Oh, sorry, I don't know.
I'm just curious. That's not a
no, I don't know.
question. Okay. Jefferson, where does your food come from?
Oh, I can imagine. I live in Goiás, the third producer of foods of the Brazil. We have everything here in Goiás: the best fruit, the best vegetables, soybeans, the best cattle. Everything,
but not the
here.
best accent. Not the best accent.
Not the best accent. Yeah, maybe.
I didn't forget.
Yeah, really. About the face? Yeah, no problem. But I'm come from my father is from Rio Verde, Goiás. It's a rich city. So big farms, small farms, we have everything here. We can complain about food. It's no problem for my family here in Goiás. But for others, it's another world.
Yeah. When you live in a small city, you know more where your food comes from. In Caxambu, where I'm from, I know some local farmers. So it's easy to know the quality, how much you are paying to the products, to the person who are producing the things. So yeah. Bruna.
I like so.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I just searched it here on YouTube, on Google, and it seems that nowadays here in Brazil, it's the more or less 1.81 reais per liter paid for the rural producers.
It's not much. Yeah. It's not much.
I think I'm just like Yasu. Sorry, say it, Fern.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I don't know actually. Unfortunately, I know I should know somewhere in the countryside, but I don't know the cities. I'm not sure.
Rafael, you said that you are like the same, or you will have another different answer.
No, I was just like in the air. Where does it come from? But yeah, no. Yeah, but I would assume it's somewhere near, maybe, so it doesn't go bad. Because like my uncle from Ceará, he is a little farmer. He produces milk and some other, you know, grains and stuff like that. So I kind of know a little bit about it. And I don't actually know how the production and the distribution works, but I know that it starts in his farm and his peers' little farms and stuff like that. So yeah.
I don't know this year, the data from this year, but the last years, around 85% of the food we consume in Brazil is produced by MST.
Okay, and you have the best jabuticaba of Brazil here near Goiânia.
Okay,
jabuticaba.
That's
Really?
okay.
Really?
Send me some.
Okay.
Really miss jabuticaba. There's no way to have jabuticaba here. It's impossible. I really miss it.
UK don't have.
No.
You can see jabuticaba here at times.
No, not at all.
Never. It's impossible. Just for us. Just for us.
They can't even pronounce it. Jabuticaba.
And piqui too. Piqui maybe. Yeah, you have.
I like the way they say acai. It's very funny.
Acai.
Anyway,
Acai.
yeah, thank you very much. We ran out of time. Thank you very much for coming today, and bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by.
Have a good
See
day.
you.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.